It's now time for the Reaper Sports full game recap. We were all the way back January 4th, the year 2025, when the Nashville Predators were in Calgary to face off against the Flames. Head coach Andrew Burnett deploys his lines and defensemen in the following combination: Forsberg, Stamkos, and Marchessault, Nyquist, O'Reilly, Heines, Stroza, Jankowski, Svechkov, Evangelista, Weisblatt, McCarron, and Sissons. Your defensive pairings are Yossi and Barron, Shea and Blankenberg, Stastny and Shen, and Eustace and Noonan gets the start in net for the Nashville Predators. We are 54 seconds into the game when Noonan comes up with his first save on Sharon Govich. That's the first shot on goal of the game. 134, another save on ball at the 2:01 mark of the first period. It's Wolf coming with a save on Stastny's heavy shot. That's the first Predators shot of the game. 4:07 of the first period. Noonan back to work, coming with a save on Huberdeau's redirect at the slot. Good save right here, tracking that deflection. 6:53 now at the first. Noonan comes up with a save on Peltier. 9:40 of the first. Noonan a save on Pahal. 14 minutes now into the first period. Noonan continuing to do the work, coming with a save on Lumberg. And at 14:10 the first period, we find our first special team scenario. Svechkov off to the box, 2 minutes for hooking. Kuzmenko hits the post, and a lot of mayhem ensues in the crease area after that. And Noonan able to survive. Noonan then comes up with a save on Kadri before the end of the power play. Preds PK also measuring up to the task here. 16:46 now the first period. It's Wolf coming up with the save on Marchessault. Second shot on goal for the Nashville Predators. That's right, the 16:46 mark of the first period is when the Predators finally get their second shot. 17:38 of the first period. Noonan coming up with a save on Bean. 17:41. Marchessault's off the box. 2 minutes for slashing Flames back on the power play. And Noonan back to work. A save on Coleman's deflection. Right there at close range. We hit the end of the first period. The Calgary Flames out shooting the Nashville Predators by a total of 11-3. No score on the board. But the Preds do look like, on the second night of back-to-backs, like they are really suffering an energy outage here in the first 20 minutes. We are 1 minute into the second period, and it's Wolf coming up with a save on Marchessault. So the Predators at least getting a shot on goal much quicker in the second period. Now they have 4 total shots on goal. 2:37 of the second period. Sometimes I got to make myself laugh. 2:37 now. Noonan comes up with a save on Sharon Govich. 2:46 of the second period. It's Kuzmenko off the box. 2 minutes for slashing on Svechkov. O'Reilly picks up his 10th goal of the season, breaking through for the Nashville Predators. It was a one-time backhand in the low slot off of Svechkov's feed. Again, a one-time backhand, not something you usually see, but those guys with that net front presence, the jam in those hands, sometimes they do it in unconventional ways, and O'Reilly's 10th goal of the season puts the Preds ahead on the power play, 1-0. 5:57 now the second period. Noonan coming with a save on Coleman at the 9:03 mark of the second period. It's Shen off the box, 2 minutes for cross-checking. We find the Calgary Flames on the power play yet again, but Kuzmenko is going to pick up a penalty. 2 minutes for playing with a broken stick. Now, let me explain for just a second. This wasn't as simple as his stick broke and he continued handling the puck. This was, he was holding the broken stick in one hand and he kicked the puck with his skate trying to keep it in. Regardless of how it happened, he was still holding a broken stick when he played the puck. Therefore, by definition, that is a penalty. It was weird. That creates a 4-on-4 scenario for 1 minute, and Noonan comes up with a save on Huberdeau, point blank, all alone after the D turns it over on the half wall. It is the Predators' netminder hung out to dry, and then Wolf comes up with a save on Yossi's strong drive to the net going the other way immediately. This was like the captain, Roman Yossi, was trying to prove a point on that rush. We hit the Predators' power play for 1 minute. Wolf comes up with a save on Marchessault plus his follow-up rebound jam, and then O'Reilly gets his 11th goal of the season, second of the period, second power play goal of the game. Marchessault passes, rebound to O'Reilly at the side of the net. It was perfect. So Forsberg takes the initial shot. Marchessault pulls the rebound, and instead of shooting it, sends it over to the side of the net perfectly for O'Reilly to finish the play. The Predators have a 2-0 lead with 2 power play goals, both by Ryan O'Reilly. 13:09 the second period. Now it's Jankowski and Peltier off the box, 2 minutes each, creating a 4-on-4. And Noonan comes up with a save on Anderson. Wolf comes up with a save on Evangelista. That would do it for that 4-on-4 scenario. Return to 5-on-5 hockey. We find ourselves at 17:01 with Wolf coming up with a save on Brady Shea. And at 18:20, Backlund picks up his 8th goal of the season. It was a terrible turnover by the defense. Heavy influence around the crease by the Calgary Flames puts them on the board for the first time. The Predators do still hold a 2-1 lead, though, going into the second intermission. Calgary out shooting Nashville 21-17 over the course of the first 40 minutes. So the Predators picked up 14 shots on goal in the second period. Of course, 2 goals goals and looked like a much different team. You would say they were playing rope-a-dope, second night of back-to-backs. I don't think that's what was going on. I think it just took them a while to get moving. 22 seconds down in the third period. It's a Noonan coming with a save on Huberdeau's breakaway. That's right. To start the third period, it's a breakaway, and the Nashville Predators backup netminder is turning it aside. 50 seconds later, coming up with a save on Backlund, plus the follow-up by Granato's wraparound attempt. 1:31 now of the third. It's Wolf coming with a save on Jankowski's deflection. 3:42 of the third. It's Noonan coming with a save on Rooney. 4:09 of the third. It's Wolf coming with a save on Luke Evangelista, and we hit to the back of the sheet, and we found ourselves at 6:48 of the third period, where Noonan's coming with a save on Sharon Govich. 7:03. Noonan comes up with a save on Uyghur's wraparound attempt, and at 9:16 of the third period, it is Marchessault versus Coronado off to the box. 5 minutes each. A scrap by the Nashville Predators power forward. It was a decent one at that. The Predators fired up 3 seconds later, 9:19 in the third period. Svechkov scores with his third goal of the season. It was a backhand at the side of the crease after a face-off win by Jankowski. Predators have a 3-1 lead, and Svechkov pulling the Ovechkin move, even admitting to seeing that goal earlier in the day and duplicating it here for the Nashville Predators. Svechkov seems to be coming out of his shell very, very nicely on his most recent recall. Predators lead 3-1. We hit the 10:59 mark of the third period. Noonan comes up with a save on Kadri. 12:28. Noonan comes up with a save on Kuzmenko. 13:35 of the third period. Wolf comes up with a save on O'Reilly at 14:35. Noonan a save on Kadri. 17:22. And Noonan a save on Uyghur. The 18:32 mark of the third period. It's O'Reilly with his 12th goal of the season, his third of the game, into the empty net. Steven Stamkos, what a pro, what a great teammate. Gets the puck, holds, delays, waits for O'Reilly to find himself in a shooting position, sends it over to O'Reilly for O'Reilly to finish the hat trick. On the road, the Nashville Predators lead 4-1. That would be your final. So O'Reilly scores 3 of the 4 Predators goals, 2 of them coming on the power play, 1 of them into the empty net, and it does not matter because the Predators are on a road winning streak for the first time this season. 2 wins in a row on the road. Calgary outshoots the Nashville Predators in total for this game 32-28, but considering the Predators started with 3 shots on goal in the first 20 minutes, and they had 25 combined in the second and third period, and they won the game 4-1, I'll take that. It was a tough first period. The Preds seemed like they might just run out of gas and just simply fall over, but after the first intermission, they were able to get their legs under them a little bit, get themselves going, and will themselves into a victory here in Calgary. It was the first victory over the Flames this season out of 3 meetings, so the Predators, at just the most important time when they really, really needed a couple of wins in a row on the road, they find a way back-to-back, less than 24 hours to do it. It was improbable. They got their asses handed to them physically in Vancouver, but found a way to win. In this game, they got great goaltending from their backup netminder and a premier signature game from Ryan O'Reilly. Ever since coming back from the injury, something about his game has just been different in a very good way. Perhaps he just needed some time off. For a guy who never takes any time off, having a few games off there, maybe it rejuvenated him in all the right and best ways, because so far, since coming back from that, he's a totally different player. Listen, I'm getting into the analysis portion of things. Let's take a quick break right here. That was the Reverse Sports Full Game Recap. We've got analysis, box score, more coming up on the other side of this.